I am Mike Trainer, and on behalf of the Board of Directors of the Intel Alumni Network, I welcome you to our webinar on software-defined vehicles, the next generation of intelligent transport. This webinar is part of Intel Alumni Network's Thought Leadership series, where we bring in experts on current technical trends, really, and almost exclusively for our IAN members. Tonight's webinar has been driven by fellow IAN board member Shizu Munikata, and I now give way and let Shizu introduce tonight's expert.
Good morning or evening to everyone, depending on your location. And thank you for joining this presentation today by a multi-talented executive. I first met Nobe-san when he was at NEC, which is like the IBM of Japan then, and started its global PC business efforts. He was instrumental in converting NEC away from its proprietary PC architecture to a global standard. He was then later scouted by Song-san of SoftBank to head their joint venture with a Korean company, which was the world's largest gaming community and site then. At Nissan, he was the chief architect of the Leaf's IoT system. He then moved to Intel, responsible for defining the architecture to realize advanced services for mass, mobility as a service. Currently, he is a visiting professor at Nagoya University, which, as you can imagine, because of its location, sends its top PhD students to Toyota. And he is now teaching about a data-centric society at the university. He also advises the government on various timely automotive topics and issues. And just this month, he rejoined Intel as a senior case architect. As you may know, just in case, CASE stands for connectivity, autonomous driving, sharing, and electrification. So today we will learn about how next generation cars need to be designed, manufactured, sold, and maintained differently as they become much more software driven, which is causing a major paradigm shift for various players in the automotive industry. So Nobe-san, please start your presentation.
So yeah, okay, thank you very much for your introduction. And my name is Nobe. I try to share my presentation for today. Okay, yes, agenda is 4 parts, and the historical evolution of the IoT and deep learning, and then road to SDV. SDV means a software-defined vehicle, and it is kind of a case itself. Anyway, I will explain how SDV will be made possible in the future. And then basically the battery EV, BEV means battery EV, and the battery EV is almost the same with an SDV. And the difference from the ICE, internal combustion engine, kind of gas cars, is quite different because EVs are upgradable, and ICE vehicle would not be upgradable. So this difference make very big difference between the ICE vehicle or current gas vehicles and EVs. And such kind of change will make a very good change, very big change of the business model and the industrial structure of the automotive business. So I would like to explain like this, of those things, yes. So I will start from the kind of development of the IoT. And the IoT's development is made up to the deep learning or kind of a technology singularity point. I will explain. And the horizontal axis is years, and the vertical axis is calculations per second or operations per second. And green points are kind of a cloud of the computers since the year of the 1900 to the 2045. And as a kind of computers may be very, will have a very big calculation power if it is expensive. But for basically those points are unit has a $1,000. $1,000 computer may have this kind of calculation power from the historical point. And green points, extending the green points eliminate or yield the orange line. And this curve is called a kind of a Kurzweil curve, maybe I may say Kurzweil curve. And it made up to the kind of technology singularity point in the year of the 2045. And I added additional red points, picked up the kind of recent computational power of the high-end PCs, but it is still on the Kurzweil curve. And technology singularity means that the $1,000 of the computer has exceeded the computing power of the all human brains combined. And coincidentally, there are 2 points like 2 Olympic Games, which have been held in 1964 and 2021, basically. And the solid line is on the Kurzweil curve within these two lines, which depicts or which explains the Moore's law of the 15 years. Basically, the performance of the basically cost effectiveness of the computers doubled every 2 years. But still, the Kurzweil says that those curves will go further up to technology singularity in 2045. And this dotted line means that doubles every year. So that it is huge computational power growth will have to be expected. So and also if we have a kind of cross point of those two lines, the year would be 1995. That year is a kind of a launch year of the Windows 95. Since that introduction of the Windows 95, most of the PC users can enjoy the multimedia contents, and also that easier access to the internet was made possible. So this point is very important, and I think that the glowing dotted line exceeding that kind of trend of the solid line. It means that those PCs or $1,000 computers will be helped by the power of the data center or currently the cloud. So then maybe the computers at hand may exceed the kind of a past trend of the solid line and get into the dotted line like this. That is my understanding. And then the additional side point from the computational power, around the year was 2007 was such kind, the $1,000 of the PC or computer exceeded the computing power of the mouse. And then basically the Kurzweil says that in around 2027, the $1,000 of the computer will exceed that one single human brain computing power. So that it can be possible, I think, when I'm looking at the recent trend of the computational evolution. And also, in order to explain the further details, this line, red line, starting from the 10 to the 12th power, 10 to the 12th power here. And it means that the tera. So this point is 1 tera operation per sec of the line. And if I take up kind of, I put some star on this, it's a kind of point of the iPhone 15 Pro, which has a 35 tops and with a 24.5 wattage. So this is very good power consumption. But anyway, this recent product has 35 tops of the computational power. And also it is said that in 2025, the average battery EV will have a 100 tops average of the computational power. And it is still on the almost on the Kurzweil curve, and it could be possible to launch such kind of computational power inside the EVs. So this is quite easy to expect, I think. So still those kind of a computational implementation is on the line of the Kurzweil curve. That is the point. And also in around 2012, maybe it's not only the computers on the hand, but in the cloud side, the huge amount of the semiconductors have been located, and AI began to live in the cloud. For example, maybe a good example is Google Cat on the cloud, but anyway, I skipped that. But after 2012, there has been a very great change of the research on speech recognition. Before the year of the 2012, speech recognition researchers prepared the parliamentary speeches and also the proceedings, and researchers makes or develop the algorithm to generate text from audio, and the check of the correctness had been done by themselves. So the proceeding or kind of advancement of the speech recognition was very slow. But after 2012, there was a crowd, and also a bunch of the smartphones have been used by the users in the global basis. So then more than kind of millions, 100 millions or several hundred of millions of the people have been using the smartphone in around 2012. And people may say something like Tokyo, such a voice wave will be going up to the cloud, and there would be a kind of a deep learning based on like acoustic model and linguistic model of the speech recognitions. And deep learning can manage some kind of relations between the acoustic model and the linguistic model. And this kind of basic method has been applied to the voice recognition for the bunch of the data from the huge amount of the users. Then the algorithm would yield some kind of character, text Tokyo. If this text Tokyo is different from the expectation, which means that error of the recognition, the people may restate the Tokyo, the word or wave file of the Tokyo, then send back to the cloud, and then the Tokyo, actual text Tokyo will be coming out. The people or users may proceed to the next process. So the user itself, themselves, correct or check the correctness of the recognition. So then, and also basically those things have been based on the general users and the natural voice and multiple languages and large samples. And of course, the usage has been held in a global basis. So then this is very important, and also the implementation of the deep learning accelerated a lot to the development of the speech recognition. And the important thing here is that after maybe around 2016, basically Google and others make a scanning of the library books for the acoustic translation. And they built up some kind of language space in the cloud, and the relation between the words or sound have been well analyzed or deep learned. And then the real great translation of the text can be carry the kind of additional explanations for the related words, and then the chat GPT type of the solution has been appeared in the market in this year, or maybe it was this year. So that basically the important thing here is that user action itself generate the training data for deep learning, and the users would not be bothered by some kind of input and also the checking of the correctness. They do not do that kind of things. Just only that doing the general life, common life is making up some kind of data training. training data for the deep learning. It's very important. And such kind of things that the user input could be a training data. This kind of things have been implemented to the vehicle development, especially for the autonomous driving or autonomous driving assist. The good example is, of course, a Tesla autopilot or beta version of the self-driving, fully self-driving. But as you see, this kind of video, actually, this is the kind of video shoot about 1.5 years ago. So this is not to update, but basically this video explains how those things or application of the deep learning to the vehicle have been implemented. And the display depicts, displaying the kind of signals that, especially the important thing is that there are 4 signals on the display. This is actual number of the real signals. And also the color of the signal is red. I'm going to make this move. Anyway, so this vehicle will automatically stop before the vehicle in front. And then the traffic light will turn to green. The vehicle will go or move. And this is quite natural movement as automated driving. But the important thing is that about 3 years ago, or even 2 years ago, vehicle did not move, even the traffic light turned to green. But the driver will step the acceleration pedal or gas pedal. And then computer runs at this computer's understanding of the video, our reality is correct. And of course, for example, if there's a kind of situation that red light will turn to green, even if then if the vehicle moves, in that case, the driver may step on the braking pedal. Then computer runs that again that my understanding of the real situation is correct. Then such things makes a very good training data for the understanding and also the possible actions to assist the drivers. And also, as you see, that this vehicle had stopped before or in front of the UPS truck, as you see on the video. But this vehicle cannot understand what to do. So then this driver disengaged the full self-driving mode, and then turn the kind of steering wheel. Then this kind of things also is a good training data for the computational power computers to make up algorithm for the automated driving. So this is a very important case where such kind of user action itself will be a training data, and it had been already applied to the development of the automated driving by Tesla. So this is important movement, and as the Tesla vehicles is now off-roading in especially California or anything. Anyway, but anyway, the kind of density of this kind of vehicle will be increasing. The accurateness of the driving understanding or automated driving algorithms will be getting better. So this is very important, and it is happening nowadays in the automotive industry. So this is kind of historical evolution of the IT and deep learning, and also relation to the now automotive industry. And from here, I would like to show the road to SDV. And vehicles had been accepted in the market in around 1907 because based on the kind of expansion of the automated mass production made by Ford. So then since then, up until 1917, the relation between a human being and the cars or vehicles had not been so changed. People may use the kind of handles, steering wheels, acceleration pedals, and the braking pedals, and watching on watchful eyes on the road, then the people may manipulate the vehicle to drive safely. But after 1970, the microprocessors had been implemented inside the vehicle because of a kind of there was a kind of oil shock. Yes, and also there are smokes on there. So it was very important. It became very important to reduce the usage of the gas or efficiency of the usage of the gas. So then EFI, electric fuel injection type was it's a kind of ECU, engine control unit, or electric control unit. It's kind of a microprocessor had been implemented in the vehicle and controls the injection of the fuel into the engines of the vehicle. So it's a first case to implement microprocessor in the vehicle, and it started around 1974 or such kind of things. And then the bunch of the ECUs had been implemented, and up to the 2000, it is said that 100 ECUs would be implemented in luxury vehicles, and volume cars may also have 30 ECUs inside. So, and also especially in Japan, the navigation system in the car had been implemented a lot. Around 40% of the moving or drive on the street, vehicles on the street has navigation systems. And then it is quite an important movement in Japan. Basically, only in Japan, I can say, because of the Galapagos smartphone, not smartphone, Galapagos phone, cellular phone. This type of the Japan unique phone can send or use the data transmission between things to the cloud or data center. And so using the Galapagos cellular phone, I implemented Nissan to send out the GPS data from navigation system, and those location data with each car can be analyzed to detect the kind of congestion of the road. So from many cars, I picked up many data and calculated and to tell statistically calculate the condition of the traffic jam on the street or such kind of things. And additional different data was also sent up to the data center, and I generated quite meaningful information back to the vehicles. Such kind of implementation of a kind of telematics technology had been started or commercially started or implemented after 2000 in Japan. But then the smartphone was coming in the market after 2008 with the 3G communication technology, and by the year of the 2010, many people are using a smartphone and gathering the vehicle data, and also between you can see the kind of red arrow on the bottom of the right-hand side. Between 15 to 20, the vehicle can detect the environmental conditions by using the camera, LiDAR, and ultrasonic type of the sensors surrounding the vehicle. And those data would also be getting uploaded to the data center and using much functional computers. And also the ECU, which tells the conditions of the driving status of the vehicle. Those environmental data and the driving situation have been uploaded to the cloud, and then on the map, those data have been accumulated. And those data have been fed back to the current users on the road or street. So this kind of communication link has been expanded between 15 to 20. And then by taking a look and also implementing the driving algorithm, implementing deep learning to develop the driving algorithm between 2025. So this is quite important years, and currently we are now in this segment. But gradually, vehicle movement itself makes up the driving algorithm, at least to support the human driving. And yeah, so this kind of situation is now kind of a point of the competition of the automotive companies, but not so many automotive companies are actually realizing this type of data flow or usage of data using the cloud and the client as a vehicle as a client. And then after 25, I believe that many battery EVs will be coming and accepted in the market. And those vehicles, battery EVs, will be going to be connected to the house to charge or discharge. And also, of course, with using the supercharging stations, such a flow of the energy, electric energy will be manipulated, controlled, and also those control of the electric usage or storage of the vehicle could be providing a kind of capabilities to stabilize the renewable energy in the future. So this combination of the vehicle and the grid, electricity grid, is very important, will be very important towards 25 or 13th. And those energy management will be used for the stabilization of the electric supply, and also the additional data from the buses or kind of bicycles or e-scooters may help the development or expansion of the 4D map database. I'm saying 4D. It means that the time-dependent kind of forecasting or past data can be also used, so that I may say it's not only 3D but also 4D. Time is counted. So anyway, the 4D map will be a very important asset of the future society. And so this kind of total picture will be coming in the market or in the global status. And maybe from here, that when compared with the century of the oil and automobiles, we can say that 21st century would be a EV or energy revolution timing. Yes, I may say. Currently, we are in energy evolution. Yeah. So this is a kind of global picture of the enhancement of the combination or usage of the vehicles. And then I need to say, I'd like to emphasize that the battery EVs are quite different from the internal combustion engine vehicles. And basically, it is related to the energy usage. And basically, the EVs, battery EVs may exchange the kinetic energy and also the electric energy. And also, the battery EVs may also use not only kinetic, but also the potential energy, like this. I skipped the explanation, but anyway, this is a kind of image of the usage of the energy between kinetic potential and electric energy. And the important thing here is that this kind of exchange of the energy between a kinetic potential and electric energy is reversible. And the past ICE vehicles cannot use an energy cannot use energy reversible. Irreversible. It means irreversible. Sorry. But for example, the heat or noise or sound and even CO2 emitted into the atmosphere cannot be reversible. But in case of like battery EV, those electric energies can be reversible and exchangeable into the kinetic and potential energy. And also the important thing here is that control current voltage with software to increase the mileage. So this means that the software will manage the kind of a reversible exchange of the energy. So this is important, and this is quite different from the status of the ICE vehicles. And also here I need to explain what is SDV basically. Maybe that this is very important, but the point here is that software can control such kind of energy transformation, and such kind of things in reality have been appeared. We can tell, we can see the application of such kind of thing. For example, on the right-hand bottom chart graph, it is saying that it explains that the recent battery EVs use a degenerative braking to decelerate or even stop the vehicle. So the kind of picture shows that when compared with the friction brake, the regenerative brake is much more used. And in case of ICE vehicle, only friction brake would be used. And not only the energy reduction of the kinetic energy, but also the heat and sound or many things have been lost from the braking cycle. But recently, the mechanical braking would not be used so much. Brakes would not be used so much. Mostly the regenerative energy. And by using the regenerative energy, the Tesla made a successful story that once the computer report says that the Model 3 in 1918, the Model 3 had been launched, but the consumer report says that they do not recommend Model 3 because the stopping range in case of the emergency, the Model 3 runs a lot more than F-150 or the Ford. So the consumer report says that they do not recommend. But Elon Musk says on the Twitter, that I assume that we can reduce the driving stop range of the stop shorter. And actually, the next week, the Tesla made a over-the-air update of the software to actually reduce the stopping range by 30 feet or such kind of thing. So and also the industry had been surprised because as Tesla made such kind of things that even the braking, which is the most important thing for the car, can be controlled by the software and also updated over the air. And what Tesla had been done was this kind of thing, like a picture, that they controlled or changed the algorithm to control the regenerative brake. And they made a kind of a over-the-air update. Then the total vehicles had been total Model 3. All of the Model 3 had been upgraded to reduce the stopping range. So that is quite important thing, and this is very fantastic thing. Yes, and also additional many things is now currently controlled by software in battery EVs, especially Tesla vehicles. So this is a kind of road to SDV, and I think, and I may explain that SDV equal battery EV and the EVs are upgradable. This is too further details, and basically the vehicle itself have been changed from the gas vehicles to the electric, as shown on the picture. Sorry, I will prepare the pointing device here. From gasoline to electric, and basically it's very simple now. And still that same control things like ECUs, group of ECUs like sensors, ECU itself, and actuators. Explanation had been put on the bottom, but anyway, those microprocessors controls to make vehicle much safer. So, and also that those microprocessors has software. So now, even now, we can say that any vehicle can carry the extension or bunch amount of software itself. But the important thing here is that within ICE vehicle, those softwares could not be upgraded. But in the case of the battery EV, so the status, actually, ICE had been controlled by just only a person, but in order to assist the vehicle's drivers driving, the in-vehicle computer, high-end in-vehicle computer has been included within a vehicle, and also the additional sensors additional to the ECUs to understand the environment. Additional sensors like LiDAR, radar, cameras have been put, and then those data have been getting up to the cloud, and already I explained, and occasionally updated. And those computer has an algorithm afterward, and then the computer may make arbitration between a human driver and the computer driving, and the operation will be put inside a CAN or ECU world. And but important thing here is that this attachment or additional point is the world of the IT. It is quite different from the embedded systems inside a red inked area. And those devices are running on the software, but single function and monolithic and embedded, so cannot be updated. So that is a difference, very big difference in technical wise between the ICE vehicle and the electric vehicle. And also here, the in-vehicle computer feature is additional attachment to the recent vehicles. Those vehicles or this computer may consume the average 100 wattage in order to calculate 100 tops of the data algorithm. So then which means the 100 wattage of the consumption of the electricity is very difficult to put on the ICE vehicle. But battery EV has a 60 kilowatt hour of the electricity inside within the battery. So that this type of the high-end PCs or computers can be only applicable to the battery EVs. So this means that battery EV means SDV, and the SDV is not ICE vehicles, cannot be ICE vehicle. That is the point of this present slide. And then I may skip something, but anyway, the change in the business model and the industrial structure. And in the past, the ICE vehicle had been targeting at the starting of the stages, and up to that, various or every environmental investment has been completed. And marketing efforts is focusing on the start of the sales and additional time. Anyway, people would not be, vehicles would not be sold, would be sold in the first point, but anyway, declining the sales. This is a quite general trend of ICE vehicles, but the computers are now slow. But anyway, here the sales of the vehicle, 80% of the total sales will be made in the first 20% of the period. So the specification will be completed and would not be changed. That is also additional aspect of that now in ICE vehicles. And once vehicle has been sold to the customer, the low customer relations between the customer and the automotive company will be lost. So that is a characteristics. But once the vehicles will be upgradable, the users will be growing, because many complaints or many needs and wants would be applied or realized by software, and which would be updated, and the loyalty to the brand or vehicle would be growing, and also the newcomers will be gathering to come to purchase such kind of upgraded vehicles, so that users will be growing. This is a very different point from the past ICE vehicles that are growing like this orange portion. Sorry. The computer is moving very slow. Anyway, continuous service release of the software will increase the number of the customers. So this is quite different. So then the initial investment of the semiconductors will be a little bit expensive when compared to the ICE vehicle, but once this kind of flow of the future sales has to be counted into the cost management. So that is that makes a very different point in a financial way to say that battery EVs would be very important towards the future. So yeah, this is the kind. I can stop my presentation because just for the additional explanation will be appear on the slide, but slide is very slowly moving. Anyway, so I'd like to show the conclusion, but it's very slow. But anyway, I can finish here. But how about the kind of questions? Maybe during the meantime, the last page will appear anyway. Yeah.
Question about how far ahead is Tesla in this race to SDVs?
Basically, I understand that they are how the Tesla can be make up some kind of SDV, but and also the how far they go. But anyway, currently Tesla is ahead of other OEM companies, and Tesla is a kind of good sample of the SDV. And but anyway, that maybe the many people now is questioning the kind of feasibility or expandability or growthability of the Tesla. But anyway, now I believe that Tesla is in way above that kind of bottom, and then next generation vehicle like Model even 1 or something may carry this kind of a huge computational power at low cost. The volume of the vehicle will be growing in a global basis. Then the data value will be going up further. And then the kind of software aspect or value-added portion of the software will be much bigger. So then the kind of additional stage of the Tesla age will be coming. But of course, that kind of BYD may also catch up with electric implementations, or any other company may simulate and also exceed the Tesla. So, but this area of the competition is very important, I think.
Very good, thank you.
Okay.
And while we're waiting, we want more questions coming in, but I have a very somewhat self-serving question, which is, do you have projections for storage, data storage on SDVs going forward? And both kind of in how much and what kind of data might be stored. And the follow-on to that would be, presumably SDVs do need to be able to function when they lose network connectivity. So does that requirement add to the data that would be stored on the vehicle?
Oh, okay. Yeah, basically one important thing is that the training itself will be done on the cloud side or data center side, and the algorithm will be made, and then the algorithm as a software will be downloaded, and inside vehicle computer will calculate the kind of algorithm inside vehicle. So then if there's a kind of disconnection between the vehicle and the cloud, the vehicle can go by themselves, or driver can drive and with assistance. So then the connectivity can be lost anyway. So yeah, basically for the sake of the computer connectedness or communication connectedness, the vehicle can run standalone basically. So that is a very important thing. And what kind of data will be stored is that basically in order to, for example, I'm explaining how Tesla reduced the kind of stoppage or stopping range, but also it is very important to tell how far the vehicle can go, and even within a goal or before a goal, or basically if they drivers can reach the goal, drivers would expect the accurate calculation of how the remaining battery or electricity is remaining. So the accurate expectation of the energy usage is very important. And in order to do that, the deep learning would be applied to the data for the incremental portion, or declining of the load and wet or dry or road type, and or even maybe this is not fixed data, but the temperature and in every portion, and also the flow speed of the wind, or many things. Around 20 types of the data would be uploaded to from the vehicle and calculated the backloaded with the algorithm to back to the vehicle. So that basically that the data itself is very huge, but still it can be calculated within the recent big data center. So we do not care about we don't have any problem with the kind of size of the data inside a data center because the storage is huge. So that is the point of the initial point of the question.
Okay. We also got a question came in that kind of complements that, which is cybersecurity issues around SDVs, data and otherwise.
Yeah, of course, cyber security is the kind of catching up and some kind of I forgot the name of the English, but anyway, someone is going up and then the hacker will go up and then the provider go up. This kind of things would be happen, but even from now it could be happen. But for example, Tesla is said that there's no point of the hacking because Tesla make up or participate the kind of hacking contest or such kind of things, and the Tesla provides the Model 3, for example, to the winner of such kind of contest. Then Tesla understands the kind of weak point of their vehicles, and then with the hacking database or hackers effort, the Tesla can change the status or control of the software and then make an over-the-air update so that there's no access point of the hacking. But of course, now hackers will go up. Then Tesla is doing such kind of things. So at some point, Tesla is weak, but it's not only Tesla, but anyway, the vehicle is weak. But with such kind of contest, they can understand what is the weak point or security hole of this vehicle, then change the software and update it. So this kind of things would be implemented to eliminate that very bad accident of the security hacking. But it cannot be stopped. It's quite similar to any types of the IT or computer implementation in the market, even in the financial industry.
Okay, thank you. Here's another one. How about an easy one and then a more thoughtful one? There's a question about just when did this acronym or term, software-defined vehicles, when did that really start being used?
Some people is describing a kind of software importance, for example, to the Tesla case. Some people I might say that software-defined vehicle even in 2016 to 2018. But so I have a kind of wording in my brain that the SDV is my daily usage or daily understanding. But especially in Japan, the wording of the SDV had been appeared this year after the CES, Consumer Electric Show, CES show, in January this year. Then in Japan, the SDV is a kind of jargon or very used word in the industry or in automotive.
Okay, thank you. So here's another one.
Okay.
So here's the question. Do you see this fueling transportation subscription models? Is that going to be part of it? And the example, although I bet a little humorous, was will people have to pay for their heated seats?
Oh.
You know, You get in the car and it's cold and you turn on the heated seat, but maybe your car dealer will say, "Oh, I need 25 cents more for that heated seat," like a subscription model.
Just even it's not subscription mode. Even not subscription mode, we can control the heating or many conditions of the vehicle outside from the vehicle by connection from the smartphone, like preparation of the heat to be charged, especially rapid charging. The battery have to be a little bit need to have some kind of heat, even in a very cold temperature. Such kind of control can be made, and but also in additional point, subscription can be also possible because of the connectiveness of the vehicle, and maybe, for example, when compared with media type, video, audio type, the subscription, the quality of the contents would not be declining. But a vehicle as a hardware can be declining in a kind of condition or quality. Yeah. But maybe in the future, towards the future, maybe materials can be developed with a very easy cleaning. The vehicle keep some kind of a good conditions as a cleanness or such kind of things. Then even a vehicle can be included within a kind of subscription model of the vehicle. So then, yeah, is it relevant answer?
Well, I think so. Let's see what they say.
Thank you very much.
I have kind of a follow on to that, and I don't know if you've thought about this, but in addition to sort of the commerce and the up to date, what other improvements to the experience of being in your vehicle? What do you see on the horizon with that?
Yeah, of course, the vehicle could be always up to date. For example, there come a new vehicle on a dealership, but if the people may purchase the same vehicle 1 year ago, with the kind of continuous uploading or updating, even the purchased customers enjoy the latest functions and also the services. Yeah. Which is same with the new car on the dealer. So this is kind of an experience we can enjoy with the smartphone when compared with a feature phone in the past. So that nowadays, many people, most of the people are accustomed to or used to, are expecting that kind of up-to-date type of solution, especially in the software side. So yeah, this is kind of difference. I mean, different point when compared with the past vehicle to the SDV. Yeah.
Okay. Well, now my next question is a little bit humorous, perhaps, but do you see a new trend of work from car replacing work from home? And might that be one function that comes in?
I think so. Yes. For example, even one point is that it's very difficult to locate the vehicle inside the house. It's because it is because that the CO2 emission is coming, because even in order to make some kind of a usage of the electricity in the vehicle, or the keeping the heat or temperature, atmosphere temperature inside the vehicle, then people may need to running the engines. So then the CO2 will be emitted in the house or some room. Then the human being could be died. So that kind of thing would not be happened inside with use of the EVs, because the battery will be connected, or even using the battery inside the vehicle can be also possible, and people can do anything which is called a vehicle to load, using some kind of hair dryers or audio equipment or refrigerators, and reading books or communicating with the people, and joining a web meeting would be possible. So that as a kind of a one room inside a vehicle or outside the house, inside the house or outside the house, yeah, we can use EVs, battery EVs for the daily life or daily usage or daily activities. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
So
you.
here's moving back to a more technical question. One of our viewer writes that controls, knobs and switches and traditional controls seem to be disappearing in favor of touchscreens and voice control. Will it all go away, or will there still be some manual controls?
Yeah, so that's a very important point, and also that we can see that the similarity from Model 3 or Model S to the recent concept model from Volkswagen, the concept model of the ID2All. It will be launched in market in 2025 or 26, a future model, but the inside vehicle interior, especially the display function or role of the display will be the same with Model 3, 4, 3S, 3 and S, 3 and Y, Model 3 and Y of Tesla. And because if there is a kind of hardware switch, after the update of the order over there, the people, someone have to check the correctness or it is functioning or not. But so in order to do that, if there's many hardware switches, the owner has to carry the vehicle to the dealer, and the dealer service center may check the conditions or whether it's correctly finished, update has been correctly finished or not. But if there's no hardware switch, and in place of the hardware switch, if there's a software switch, the software itself can check the correctness of the downloaded software or not. But of course, then people may upset if there's a kind of very huge noise from FM radio or music stations. The people may immediately reduce the volume. But if there's a software switch, maybe it's not easily available. So the people may be upset a lot. So that such kind of a very simple control, like heating or sound, there are quite limited numbers of cases, but such kind of things should be maybe prepared or ready for the hardware accessibility, hardware switch accessibility. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So another one, you had that wonderful PowerPoint where you had charts of energy and communications about energy, and then also the mobility as a service, digital twin, and then there was another one. There was a lot of interacting systems there. The question is, what kind of standardization and probably regulation is going to be needed in the future?
I think standardization is important, but maybe algorithm itself is, for example, it's a competition. Maybe but maybe the API or interface should be standardized, and communication between the different types of the models or makers or the vehicle could be exchanged. So the API and the data set should be maybe standardized, I think, in order to for the better usage of the data.
Okay, thank you.
Even the kind of, for example, even communicate with the grid stations or grid system of a power company, some type of the data should be standardized, and in order to control when the vehicle should be charged or discharged, and count of the kind of electrical load for the kind of PPV or exchanging the kind of selling of the electricity from the vehicle to the grid. Anyway, in order to do such kind of mechanism or build up some mechanisms, some data should be standardized from now. Yeah.
Okay.
Nobe-san, what do you think about the regulatory part, especially among major markets?
Major market.
The regulation by various governments, other than the standardization,
But basically, there are, basically that, German company leads the kind of definition of the European organization. And of course, then another big part is the United States. And also China is very big, so influential. And currently that they have their own policies or actual implementation of the regulations, but then it's not so different basically. And maybe some point that they should be differentiated. But anyway, the differentiated, sometimes it's not good for the trading or export and import of the vehicle. So that the most of the portion of the regulation will be harmonized, I say. Harmonized, that to not interfere the kind of easiness or trading or exchanging or expanding the technology itself. So I'm also involved with the kind of rule making in Japan, but also I make contact with German or Europe and also United States. And the important thing for me, and important thing for me to persuade the METI governmental office that harmonization of the regulation is very important. So that Galapagosness is not good. So basically, so that some portion should be standardized, I think.
I'm sorry, if I may add a little bit, this Galapagos phenomena that Nobe-san has alluded to also in the past, it refers to how Japan has made like certain proprietary standards, which was not globally accepted nor successful. So he is admonishing us to not to get into a very local customized standards and regulations, so you can globally expand your business.
Basically, too unique is not good.
So actually, I have one more question, but I also want to sort of ask around. There are still many people online. If anyone else has a question, please type it into the Q&A window now while we're doing this one. Otherwise, we'll wrap up after this question. And my question is, you have painted a wonderful picture of many good things that will come from software-defined vehicles, from SDVs. But I want to ask the other side of it. Do you have concerns about unintended consequences or things that we should be worried about or focusing on to make sure there are no unintended consequences?
Actually, actually, the kind of IT industry, high-tech industry is a kind of tendency that the top company may have all the market, mostly. For example, the Windows have the 80% of the market versus the OS X has 20%, and the Android has 80%, and the iPhone OS has a 20%. And the third one, there's no third one. And the third one cannot keep up with the kind of profitability or make the company upload. So because there's no volume of the product and no volume of the sales means that no expense to the investment for the technical development. So the the segment of the third company would not be keep up in the industry. So the similar thing could be happened if the control portion by IT would be much big inside the vehicle. So that makes the vehicle itself, the selection of the vehicle will be quite limited. So a little bit, this kind of conditions or movement have been already appeared when I'm looking at the Tesla and BYD, and the third company would not be catching up. Basically, those two companies has a total 40% of the market of the battery EV, but the third company is just only 5%. And there are many 20s of the company within 5% to 1% of the market share. And time goes on, maybe those 20 companies would be merged into one or two in order to compete against one first company or second one. So this type of conditions will be happened. Then it's not so for the automotive fan, it's not so interesting. So that kind of difference of the mindset would yield some quite big good thing or bad thing in the toward the future with this implementation of the SDV. Yeah, but we have to control or concern or eliminate such other things, I think.
All right. I think given our shared history at Intel, we might say beyond CPUs, we very much agree with you about lots of industry players. Hey, there was one more question that came in. A young man by the name of Akanori from Japan is asking, what do you think about balancing transportation versus fun to drive? Are we going to lose fun to drive in SDVs, or will that still be there?
Yeah, actually in Japan, the fun to drive is very key word to evaluate the vehicles. And I understand that IAC guys say fun to drive. But anyway, that inside the vehicle, we cannot enjoy the sound of the vehicle. And anyway, and also the one good thing for the EV side is that the acceleration is very huge, great. And also because of the gravity is very stable below the vehicle itself. So we can drive the car at will. I mean, when the vehicle may go over the vehicle in front. Anyway, the acceleration is very good. And so that we can enjoy the different asset of the fun to drive with battery B, I think.
All right. Well, with that, I would like to say thank you again to our panelists and especially to the attendees and everyone who asked questions. It's always great to do these. We will have a video recording of this up on the IAN YouTube site, which you can go to directly, or you can go to the IAN website and it will link you to the video on YouTube. And as we exit, I would like to remind everyone that we, the Intel Alumni Network, we're a nonprofit, but more than that, we feel we're vibrant. We're a global community of Intel alumni who love to meet, share, network, and connect and expand on the values and experiences that we shared at Intel. So we greatly ask you to join us, help us. We could use help in all areas. And we really do try to put an emphasis on great place to work. We'd love to have people help us. Otherwise, this is our last event of 2023. We've got some great things planned for 2024, but you'll have to check in early next year with us to see those. So happy holidays. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Nobe-san, thank you. ありがとうございます。
どうも